Well, g'day me old cobbers. I reckon today is a pretty good day to do a drawing. I'm Robbie Greer from Rusticated-Art, and this is my Fun Times Family Art playlist where you get to draw along with me from the comfort of your own home. Now be sure to stay through to the end, because not only will I be showing you all the techniques that I've learned along the way, but I'm also going to be giving a shout out to another very special channel. So what do you reckon? Are you ready to get started? Come on then. Okay, now welcome back. This is part 2 of the tutorial on how to shade the faces. So really it's just a continuation obviously of last week. I'm just putting in the finer details now. A bit more shading in around the eye there. Putting down a little bit of the eyebrow. And as you'll see, I'm always putting down graphite, blending it, and we take a bit more out. And it's, I know I keep talking about building layers, but that's what it's about. You know, it's you've just got to build it. That's the only way to get it. To get it, you know, to get some sort of or some form of realism into your artwork. Now, of course, that area there, if you look at the reference photo, that side of the face is very dark. Now, I just wanted to put a little bit more detail into it, so I've made it a little bit lighter than the actual reference photo. But hey, you know, I do talk about not being able to use too much artistic license when you're drawing a portrait, but you can as far as the different tone values go. You know, you can make it a little bit darker here, a little bit lighter. In this case, I've made it a bit lighter than the actual reference photo, just so you can see a bit more of what I'm doing. And as usual, you know, I've had to go into time-lapse because otherwise these videos, they just take too long. I mean, you're looking at about a 3 or 4 hour drawing, and I think it'll probably end up being about, with both videos together, probably 30 minutes all up. You know, and really all I'm trying to do is just show you a basic or an easy way to shade a portrait. So, you know, I didn't want to put too much detail into anything other than the shading. So I used a photo which had only a little bit of hair on it. It had been cropped out. The eyes will be the darkest part of the drawing. Take a little bit out to give those the whites, the highlights on the eyes. It's the light, because the light's coming from his left hand side, so that side's going to be lighter, hence the highlights in the eyeballs would be lighter on that side as well. Well, that's where they would go. Now under the chin there, it's a little bit darker there, no light getting there. And really I'm just sort of shading in the hair. And once again, we're just building it up. And it's creating depth. You know, we're getting a 3-dimensional look. Now blending it. Blending the hair. And I'm taking some out now with the Tombow. Now by taking it out, that creates the highlights. There's a lot of little fine hairs in there that you can't actually see in the reference photo, not on the camera anyway, not on the, you know, you can see it, I've got it in front of me so I can see it, but very hard to pick up otherwise. The little fine hairs he's got there. Just going around the eyes, just bringing them out a bit, because the eyes are round, obviously, so that's what creates all the different creases and what have you. Of course, the older we get, the more creases we have. I did a self-portrait of myself and I didn't realise just how many creases I had. Oh well, that was of age, I guess. Now I'm just doing in the background there. And the reason I'm doing that is because I just want to bring the actual portrait out from the paper. So by darkening that up, it just makes it come out a bit more. Now remember, just take your time. If you're following along, just take your time. Stop often, pause, have a look. And don't expect to get it 100% right. Like I said in part 1, you know, you're going to make mistakes. So whatever you do, don't screw the paper up. Don't rub everything out and start again. Just keep going. Leave it for a little while. When you come back to it, you'll realise, oh yes, that don't look quite right. See now here, for example, here's a good example. Now the nose, that nostril, it looked a lot bigger when I was drawing it from the reference, but now I've had a good look at it, I can see that it's too big. So I'm lining it up and it should reach the corner of the eye. See, just like that. And that's what you do. Stop and have a look. Yeah, just a bit more blending. Yeah, and of course there's a lot more that can be done. But it's not an exercise on how to do the perfect portrait. This is an exercise on how to do the shading. A bit darker under the lip there. And chin. Keep referring to your reference photo. And the other thing too, before you actually start drawing, study it, look at it. And you will see all these little things in your brain and that, and you know, your coordination between your brain and your hands and your eyes, they'll work it out. But study it. The more you can study your pictures, your reference photo, the better it is. Now here I'm just making that gap between the lips a little bit more prominent, the edge of the lip. Whatever you do, don't stress about your art, you know, it's meant to be enjoyable, you know, so enjoy it. Yeah, sure, it can get frustrating at times. It's just like if you ever tried to learn a new instrument. I mean, I'm sort of playing around with the guitar and that gets frustrating, but you don't give up, you just keep going, and that little bit of time that you spent learning, or that long time you spent learning, whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's going to make you feel better. And if you're feeling good, feeling better, then your life will get better. I know how it changed my life. And I never would have thought in a million years that I'd be sitting there drawing away in front of a camera and showing other people how to put marks on a paper, because realistically, that's all it is. Just got to put them in the right place, that's all. So let me introduce you to Angel Meridian Arts. Now, I've only just sort of come across her channel, and she's only been going since January of this year. But I tell you, she has some beautiful art. This you've got to see. I mean, her realism is just amazing. And so far I've only seen a couple of her videos, but there's so much more I want to see. And they're only short videos as well. They're all done in time lapse. In the short time that she's been here, I can tell she is already a very accomplished artist. So when you get the chance, just jump on over and have a look. Tell her Robbie from Rusticated-Artist sent you over, and I know she'll really appreciate you stopping by. And she is really well worth it. I mean, I just look at this and I think to myself, oh, that's just amazing. It really is. And once again, I'll leave a link in the description below.